Hey guys, welcome to this video where we are going to get you organized digitally, just like you would for school with your physical papers. We're going to be using this Windows Explorer and folders to give you guys a structure and kind of meaning to save files. To do that, I'm going to be referring to some things that you're already familiar with, just to make the analogy and hopefully make this make more sense. Because we're going to be creating folders inside folders, and I've found that students often find that kind of bizarre or odd, and that just means that they're not familiar with doing it on the computer, even though they're somewhat familiar with it physically. So perhaps you can relate to this. When my kids went to school for the first day this year, before they had received papers, we had gotten them ready with a backpack to carry their things to and from school. So they had this container in which they could put things inside it. Okay, and that's really what a folder is on a computer. It's a container to put stuff inside. And inside their backpack went some folders, or in some cases 3-ring binders. And so they had some items like this, which are really more containers to store stuff. And then inside their folders or binders, in some cases we had different pockets or maybe different tabs to organize things that went inside here. So let's say this blue binder was going to become their math binder. Their math binder was going to be broken down into notes, homework, kind of resource handouts, tests and quizzes that have been returned, graded papers, things like that. And so all math things went into the math binder, but we wanted to sort out some of those papers by category: notes, homework, resources, and graded papers, for example. Well, we're going to do the exact same thing here. My taskbar just happens to be on the left. Yours, most likely, the default is the bottom position. Don't let that alarm you. You probably can't see it at the moment, though, can you? Let me shift this. Okay. So that should allow you to see my taskbar. This yellow file folder icon is your Windows Explorer. And I've already got it open. It was just kind of behind there. So if I just hover, I can see things that are open. All right. And so here is the Windows Explorer window. All right. You guys should be able to find that you have your name in here in the top left. Sometimes you can find it by hitting this drop down, sometimes over here. Kind of hit back. All right, right here, right next to that picture, you can find your name. Each and every one of you, when you logged onto the computer with your login, Windows machine creates your own user profile. And under there, you're going to have your own My Documents folder. This is a place to store files or folders or containers that can organize stuff that'll be on the hard drive just for you. Okay, so if I go into My Documents, I already have a bunch of files, and so I made a sample one. I put a number 1 in front so it would go to the top, and I wanted to make one that's just empty, like you guys might have. Okay, so this My Documents folder is supposed to kind of simulate you guys in your computer having your My Documents folder that doesn't already have a bunch of stuff in it, right? Because mine's got some stuff in it. You probably, though, are going to have a couple items in here, which I didn't create, and I'm going to do that real quick. You may have one that's already there that's called Inventor, and you may have another one, Autodesk, and you may see 1 or 2 other things there. But I would just want you to realize that there are folders that are already showing up in your My Documents folder that you did not create. So why are they there? They are there for programs that are on your machine to make those programs function. So if these folders, and if you went into them, you could see that there's some files inside. Those are files that are helping to make the programs run properly. So we don't want to mess with them at all. And we don't want to mix our own documents in with those documents. So we're going to leave these untouched, and we're not going to save into them. But what we're going to do is we're going to create some storage containers to organize our stuff. To create a new folder within a folder, On a lot of Windows machines, you could just right click. You don't have the ability to right click, I don't believe here, because of some restrictions on the machine. But you do have another way up above here. You can click on New Folder. So I'd like everybody to make a folder inside the My Documents folder, and I would suggest using your last name, not my last name, your last name, but I'll do this as an example. So Orlando for me, and I'm going to put space IED for the course, Introduction to Engineering and Design, space files. So I'm going to make a backpack, if you will, for this class. Kind of everything from this class, every digital file is going to land inside this folder. Okay, now I really don't want this folder, if I go inside it, and at the end of the year, to have every single paper we've ever done just be a big jumbled mess inside here. I'd like to organize my papers and my things in here into categories, different units, different types of projects, things like that. And that way it'll be easier for me to see that. The same thing when I open a backpack, I don't want to see just all the random papers stuffed in there. I'd like to see my math stuff separated from my social studies stuff. So inside here, we're going to create a new folder. We're not going to make all the folders you might need for the year currently, but we're just doing some to show you how to do this. This one's going to be called Inventor Projects. And you know what? Maybe you even want to put My Inventor Projects, just so it sounds a little more unique to you. All right. To go inside a folder, you just double click on it. I can hit the back. To rename it, you click on it once to highlight it like it is. If I wasn't highlighted, click once to highlight, pause, and click a second time. And then you can edit the name. If you click twice too fast, instead of being able to rename it, you'll go inside it. And up above, I can see a path of where I'm at on my computer. I'm currently inside my documents, which there was a folder inside my documents called My Document Sample I created. And now I'm inside that folder where I saw an Orlando IED files I created, and now I'm inside my Inventor Projects. Okay, inside my Inventor Projects, we're going to go ahead and create two folders right here. The first one's going to be called Inventor Practice. Any miscellaneous random practicing we do in Inventor just to teach a new skill, sample files, we'll save them here. Okay, but I'm going to create another new folder, not inside this one, but inside the My Inventor Projects. We expect to have a lot of folders here. All of our projects are going to land in their own folder. So let's make another folder for one of the first real Inventor projects you guys are going to do, called the Puzzle Cube project. Okay, and as the year progresses, you'll have more folders wind up right here inside this My Inventor Projects folder. So think of this as a 3-ring binder where we're going to store all of our Inventor projects. And then once we open that binder, we're going to separate out the different projects into different tabs. It's just on the computer, everything is called a folder, but it's the same thing as a backpack with binders, with tabs, etc. Okay? Now, another way to view these items, I want you to see is over here in this browser. If you can find the folder that you're in, or kind of want to be inside, you can see these little triangles next to it. When you click on those triangles, that expands that folder. It lets you see the contents of the kind of other folders that exist inside that folder. So this one right here is really to simulate your My Documents, because My Documents on this computer already had some stuff in it, right? So yours is a little more blank. So if I click on this one, I can, if you highlight a folder here, you can see its contents. And if I click the little triangle next to it, it expands right here, and I can see the folders that are inside it. So My Documents had some folders that I didn't create and I'm not going to use. One was called Autodesk, one was called Inventor, And then there's the one I created, Orlando IED Files. That one's got some things inside it. You see the little triangle to expand. I can click that to expand, and I can see that inside that folder I have My Inventor projects. So there's my 3-ring binder to keep all my Inventor projects. And if I click on that triangle, I can see that I'm ready with multiple tabs. One place to put just random miscellaneous Inventor practice, and another place to put all of my Puzzle Cube project files. Okay, so this is how to create folders and how to get yourself organized. I'd like you to recreate those if you haven't already done so, and then you're going to take a snip of these. The snipping tool I'm going to drag my thing so you can see my taskbar again. The snipping tool right here looks like this. You can find by going to the start menu and typing snip. And then you should be able to click and hold and then drag that to your taskbar to pin it down to the bottom of your taskbar so you have access to it. But if you click on it and start that tool, okay, you notice your screen kind of fades out. It's already ready for me to take a picture, and you can take what I want is a snip of just this little bit of your browser. I want to see with all those triangles expanded so I can see the contents. I want to see your folder path, kind of the folders inside the folders. You can see as they get more indented, I can tell what folder is inside the other folders. The indentation shows me that. So I release, let go with my mouse, and it takes a picture. I'm going to save this picture. And I am going to, let's see, I'll go put it in that Inventor practice place. Let's see, Orlando's ID files. I can double click here or here, and I can just keep drilling down to where I want to put it. My Inventor projects, nope, Inventor practice. I'm going to put this in here because while this wasn't in Inventor, sometimes you're going to take a snip of a picture from Inventor and save it. So, snip of folders. Hit the save button. Snipping tool is still open. I'm going to close that. And now you can see if I go to the Inventor Practice folder right here, there's now content. There's something actually inside that folder. Most of my folders that I just created, they're all empty, other than maybe having separators inside them. But now I've got a folder, the Inventor Practice folder. There's actually a file. Files are like your documents, your actual sheets of paper. And so I could double click on it to open that up. And there you go, it's a picture.